ELYSE Myers, welcome to Live from Bed.
Hello, I'm sad that I'm not in bed. I really feel like I should be right now.
Can I tell you, without sounding like such a freak, there's actually no one I've interviewed that I want to climb in bed with more in my life. I want to reach across I wish I could reach through the computer and hug you. Like, you are such a treasure. Like, I love following you on the internet. I think you're so smart. You're so painfully funny and witty. And I was really sad to learn that we are the exact same age. And I was like, surely she's got more life figured out. Sure, she's got more years under her belt. And no, we are the same fucking age.
Wait, when's your birthday?
I'm in December.
Oh my gosh, no, so I've got a few months on you.
Oh yeah, so that's
a lot can happen in August, September, October, November, 4 months? Are you joking?
I know, no, it's true. I'm going to do so much growth between now and then. It's ridiculous.
1,000%. Give yourself 4 months and it's just going to be, light years. No. This is amazing. I love talking to people my age because I never know where I land. Not that age really makes any difference, but I feel like I've talked to... Yes, 90s.
I know.
I feel like I talk to people that are a little bit younger sometimes, and I'm like, I know that this is the same, but also, I don't know. It's just nice to talk to another 30-year-old.
Right? No, I talk to people that are younger than me for a living, and it's terrifying. Like, I'm
It is terrifying.
Oh my God. It's just, I'm like, thank God I'm not you, but also like, should I want to be you? I don't know. But
I just want to be cool. I'm painfully aware. I just recently have made a few friends that are like 22, 3, 4, that like range.
Yeah.
Just because of like writing stuff. And I'm always aware of like what I'm saying and how it's a little bit outdated, but not so much to where you're like your parents, but definitely to the point where you're like, oh, that no one says that anymore. And it's like, and then they'll just go, XYZ is crazy. And I'm like, what did I say the other day? I said, make mention. I was like, I knew you were going to make mention of that. And someone said, make mention is crazy.
You're like, it so is.
It's literally just a saying. That's you saying that's crazy is crazy.
No, like I have the Instagram version of like whatever life is, like how like people on Instagram, like my husband refuses to get TikTok, so he gets all of the trends like years later.
Of course, me, yeah.
Like 6, 7 was like on Good Morning America, and I'm like, writing it down like shit. Okay, maybe I should say 6, 7, and it's over. It's come and gone.
Wait, what's 6, 7?
No, exactly.
I don't scroll really, so I need you to fill me in.
No, I fear that I'm going to get it so wrong and that it probably means something. Because that's the thing, is it starts as one thing and then these idiots fucking contort it to mean a whole other thing. So you know what I would relate your content to, and I mean this with the utmost respect and adoration.
I already receive it with that.
It's like my favorite thing is to realize that other people get constipated. You know, like when someone's like being too cool for me, or like I think I'm less than someone else, like I'm like, okay, but they like sometimes are like sitting on their toilet, like on their squatty potty or without, really fighting for their life. And like that is like an equalizer that I'm comfortable with. That's what your content makes me realize, because I am so certain that I fuck up at life more than the average bear, you know? And
sorry, when you started going into that and then you immediately took such a left into, you know how everyone gets constipated? I was like, that's not where I thought we were going, but I'm so ready for this explanation. Sorry, that was just really out of the blue. I loved that.
No, but that's what it makes me feel like. Like sometimes I just have to repeat that to myself like over and over again to like silence the lambs. And I'm like, but I'm like, oh, thank God. Like this, like I get to your like and I'm scrolling, like I get to a video of yours and I'm like, whew, okay. And like, you're just the way you tell stories. Cause like we all have those stories, right?
Sure. Yeah.
To tell them as concise and like, how did you learn to tell a good story?
I'm the youngest child of 3 older brothers.
Sorry, I was going to say you're a youngest child because we were not given mic time at all.
Oh my God. And not even that, like there's a 7-year gap between the youngest brother and me, 7, 8, and then 10 years. If I was going to say anything and it was going to be heard, it had to be super funny and super concise.
Like you have my entire existence. I'm the youngest.
Everything I said had to be an elevator pitch, essentially.
I know, exactly. But like, thank God, like it really made us like, you don't waste anyone else's time. If it wasn't fucking hilarious or like radical, like something insane, it wasn't getting heard and it wasn't getting any applause.
I think people don't realize too, I also write those stories out. Like I think most people feel like I put the phone up and I just start immediately talking. It's like a stream of consciousness, and this is just like perfect right out of my mouth.
Right.
But like I would sit for like an hour and I would write the story out and I would pretty much memorize it. And I know that takes away like the magic of it, but I was wanting to perform the best story I could so that it was like a great journey from start to finish, along with, you know, all the time it takes to edit the emojis that you can't just like, well, I used to do that in app. Like I would on TikTok be in app. It would take me about an hour per minute of video. And so I'm like, you know, this isn't happening in like 15 seconds, right?
It takes none of the magic away, because it's like,
Okay, good.
even that is like a dedication and a process that I cannot obtain. Like that is like,
Really?
well, like I'll test it out. Like my husband is definitely like, you test your material out on different audiences, like all the time for the show. To tell it in short form, to be like, to rehearse it, like, cause you even, like, you know what sounds good. You know what the cadence should be, you know, all of that. And like, that is such a gift. It's like your way with words is just
Thank you.
unbelievable.
That's such a compliment. I think that like most people are confused because everyone's like, you should do stand up. And I'm like, that's not the same thing. Like it's stand up requires people in a live room to respond to you immediately, which tells other people what to respond to. And I'm like, not really open for that kind of feedback. I'm scared.
You know how many people will give a fucking good wedding speech, or like, God forbid, like say one funny story. Everyone's immediate reaction is like, I should do stand up. You should do stand up. People have said that to me. I'm like, no, I should not. First of all, way too saturated. Like too many people believe in themselves too much. You know what I mean? Too many people were like really
Nice. I get that. Yeah. It's like one person, it's like that, you know, no, you know what? That was going to sound mean. I don't mean it meanly. I love when people want to do something and they do it, no matter how good or bad they are at it. But I personally just know that like, it's not for me. That's never a life. I was not born for that life. And if one room didn't like every single thing I said, I would cry. And it would ruin you know how hard I've worked to just feel good about myself? Like, I'm not going to put myself in that position. That's me knowing me. And I'm not emotionally mature enough for that.
Also, you know how late you have to stay up? Please.
So late.
Please.
I mean, I'm good at that, but then you have to sleep late. And I have kids. And what am I going to do about that?
Right. No, I like the hours are not for me. The culture is not for me. It's like I'll come into my husband's car and God bless him, he's like listening to my podcast and I like, oh my, I'm like, turn it off. Like I almost crashed the car. I'm like, turn it off. Oh, I don't like listening to myself back at all.
Do you edit your own podcast or does someone else edit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, in that context I have to, but like that's me being hypercritical and like saving myself. It's like self-preservation. Sure. Like I'm like, if 100%. I don't do this, it's like I'm fucked.
What was I was talking to Jonas about, we were watching, you know the show The Quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Or Quarterbacks on Netflix?
Yeah.
So you're watching them watch tape of themselves. And Jonas did basketball. I don't know, sports. Go sports. Yeah. He played football in high school. Yeah. And he's like, you have to watch so much tape, not just of yourself, but of other players, like on other teams. So then you learn the other team to know how to play against them. Sure. But I just kept saying, I could not imagine sitting and watching that much tape of myself.
Right.
And Jonas just looks at me and he's like, that's literally what you do for work all day. Like 100 hours a week, I will stare at my face and I have to take like face breaks because I watch my face and talk and hear myself so much. And I was like, but it's different because I literally said, I'm like saving myself from me by editing. Right. Like I couldn't handle watching hours of footage that someone else took of me that I have no control over and couldn't fix before I saw it for real from start to finish.
And like with other people, God forbid.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no. Yeah. That would be like someone playing a live feed of me in my office for all day. And I'm like, I don't know what I was doing. Like I probably was farting at some point loudly because I'm alone. And so I would hate that so much. But
I would hate that so much. But other than the gift of reading your love story with your husband, among other love stories that are more perilous, in this gift of a book, I had the gift and the privilege of finding your husband's Instagram. I mean, all it took was just clicking on your Instagram and finding his Instagram. What a gift of a man he is. What a gem. Like, because I firmly believe that all male people's Instagram should be a fan page of their wife. Yes. And like, truly, like, what else are you here for? Like, don't post your own bullshit. Like, my husband only posts me. I'm like, yes, that's the way it should be.
He's like not on mine at all, and I'm like all his, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you so much. I just need like my own space.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I know, but you keep doing what you're doing.
But
honey.
you keep. We will both have ELYSE Myers Instagram pages. Yes, that makes
exactly.
sense. Yes.
But I love that so much. Like, I love your love so much. So I transparently am pregnant right now. I'm like transparently.
God.
If you saw me in person,
okay.
it'd be you'd notice, I think.
Okay.
So it's like just starting to come.
Gosh, is this number one?
Number one. Yes. So crazy. Like, so I'm also pregnant with a boy. So I was like, I can't wait to talk to you because I'm like, you're fluent in boy. You're surrounded by penis.
Tell me, okay, for so much penis. I've only ever been. I have only had boy dogs, brothers, and I was like, I'm gonna get a girl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to do it, you know. And then I got two boys, and I was like, I guess God knew I would like fuck it up really bad. Like, I just was meant to do it. Like,
being pregnant is so wild. And like, so I've been like, ever since I've found out that I'm having a boy, I've been like doing some research, like asking everyone that has a boy, I'm like, what's that? You know, what's that like? Whatever. And I've gotten some mixed feedback. Like, everyone's like obsessed with their son. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, which is gorgeous. But some people are like, you're going to want to marry them. I'm like, okay, you know, like,
I don't feel, I think it's weird when people like do that. Like,
Yeah.
I get that my sons have a very like special like fondness for me as their mom.
yeah, I hear they are devoted.
Yeah, but a lot of that is actually because of the way Jonas treats me. So like they learn how to treat me from Jonas. So when I walk down in the morning, when I wake up, Jonas will go, "Our queen." And so now my sons go, "Our queen." And August goes, "I smell a queen coming down the stairs."
You shouldn't tell people that. Like, that's too nice. That is like insane.
And then when I leave for work, they all go on the porch and Jonas goes, "Mommy, mommy." And they all cheer for me. And then August, like, he'll go, "Thank you for working so hard for us, mommy," because he's a stay-at-home dad. So I come home from work and August goes, "You worked so hard for us today, mommy." And so like all of that is just from Jonas. And so yes, they have this like admiration, but it's also like what they see and they replicate it. So if you should be so lucky to have a bunch of people around you, they're like, "Our queen." It's just like,
Everyone's
wild.
Instagram page is going to be dedicated to you. You're going to have 3. No, but I'm like listening to this. I'm like, you're going to fucking hate their wives. Like, that's what I'm like. So my husband is one of 3 boys, and I just watch, even myself, I rewire his brain every day, right? Like, against like what his mom taught him and told him. It's like, it must be so devastating for her. Like, we have a great relationship. I love her, but like, at the end of the day, I'm reprogramming her son.
Sure. I hope to program my kids in a healthy way to the point where like my job is to create people that when they have partners one day, they're like, "You did a good job. Thank you for like making
Yes.
this person into somebody that is so good and so kind and somebody that is going to keep me safe and love me forever and never going to leave me and is just
Yeah.
here." So like my goal is that like, of course people become their own person, but like I hope to like pass him off to whoever and just be like, "I hope it was okay." Like,
Right.
I hope he's good. You know, if he isn't, call me and I'll punch him square in the face.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know, that's my job. That's my only goal. So I'm
No,
like,
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
we'll be dream mother-in-laws to whomever. Like,
I
ideally.
hope.
I know.
I hope. But also like it's like, it's so interesting. The dynamics of parents and like in-laws is so interesting, and we won't get into that because my in-laws will listen to this, and I do love them so much. They're
know.
so beautiful.
I know. It's so
But
dangerous.
like it's interesting because I don't have relationship as much. Like I'm the only one that lives in Nebraska, so
Right.
like everyone is there. We don't chat. Like there's not much to talk about. And
Yeah.
so then when I married into a family that they have a relationship with their parents, I'm like, what do you do with that? Like, I don't even know what to do with you. Like,
Right.
I forget you exist because that's how I have to operate in my own family. And so I feel like a bad daughter-in-law, to be honest, because I'm still trying to figure out how to incorporate this role in my life that I was okay with not having 20 years ago. So it's like, how do I do this now?
No, I feel the same way. Like my in-laws are wonderful, but like no matter what, I always say it feels like joining a Zumba class 20 minutes late. Like you're like,
Yes.
wait, hold on. Like this choreography is like you're trying to catch up and you're like, okay, maybe I got it. And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And like
Do
what
your
I
siblings have partners
yeah,
when you joined? Okay, like marriage, like were they married?
yes. Well,
So were
so
you the last?
yes, thank God.
Okay.
It's really hard for the first. Like I commend the first. Like I
See, I feel
always
like it's harder coming in late. That's the thing that makes me feel late is like y'all have your thing now, so you're
totally.
expecting me to be that and I'm not that. And so now
Yes.
I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to do that this morning. Like I just want to
No,
be home, you know?
you're absolutely right. So like my oldest sister-in-law, like I always am like, thank God for you. You like you fucking broke the mold. Like you really like you came into an all-boy family and you rocked it. Like thank God for
Yes.
you because you had a lot of pressure. In the same way, she is much more accommodating and better at the choreography than I am in
Sure,
some
sure,
ways because
sure.
I'm like also a youngest. So I'm like, this is wrong. That you shouldn't do
Yes,
this
that's
this
me.
way. You know, and I'm like, I have boundaries and things that I won't like, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, shit, like you were really generous and like a lot,
Mm.
especially like having a baby. I'm like, people are like, oh, are you so excited for the baby to come? And like, I'm like, yes, more than anything, I'm so excited to meet him. And like, this backpack that I'm wearing on my front now is like
Oh,
getting in the way. But at the
and it
same
just keeps
time,
going too.
oh, I'm not even at the beginning. Like, please.
I'm sorry.
But I know. Thank you. Thank
Can
you.
I say really quick though?
Yeah.
A lot of people try and fucking scare you about birth. Don't
Yeah.
let anyone do that because literally your body was designed in a way where once it actually comes time to do that, you're so uncomfortable with being pregnant that the
Right.
only thing you can hope for is like, I can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait. Like that's how it feels. And like it just happens. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I know that there are things that happen and I don't want to discredit anyone's like birth experience if it was like traumatic and all that.
Of
I had some
course.
things that happened, but like it's just got a lot of people around you that know what they're doing and
Yeah.
just let them do it and you'll be fine. And it's like
Yeah.
it's just it by that point you're just like just get this out. You know what I
Totally.
mean?
Like right
So
now,
don't be
I'm like
scared if you are.
starting. Like at first, I was like, okay, like my body's designed for this. I can do this. There are far weaker bitches that, than me. I'm like, I got a high pain tolerance. Now at night, I'm starting to get like, I don't really
The
love
Braxton
either
Hicks.
exit plan. Like I don't. I'm like
Oh
this is
yeah.
like, I'm like a little nervous. But now I go back and forth. But I'm really happy to hear that because people
Yeah.
do love to scare another pregnant person. Like
They
people like
really do.
you'll never sleep again when they know sleep is my number one favorite thing in the whole world. Like that's so
Girl,
threatening to
that's
my
also a
livelihood.
lie.
Yeah.
I oh my God, ask Jonas. The week after I gave birth, I'm like tired, pregnancy tired and pregnancy like insomnia doesn't even compare
Okay.
like
Good.
in bad ways to
I have
like
such
once you get the
insomnia.
baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God. Once you get that baby out, you like I could have fallen asleep
Oh,
like
I'd love to hear that.
that anywhere. And Jonas kept him all night. Like I was pumping, so we would do the shifts thing. I have so much
Yeah.
I could tell you, but we did shifts immediately, and it was like no matter what you knew, you would get like a good 4 hour chunk of time or whenever you had to feed or
Yeah.
whatever you're doing. I don't know what you guys are doing for food, but like no matter what, the shifts thing really helped too.
Okay.
So
I love that.
pregnancy's hard. It's just hard and it exists and you go through it. And then once you have the baby, it's like you figure it out. And
Right.
you have two and he can take it. Like you can
Thank
pass it
God.
off. You can't pass that off when you're pregnant.
I
So
know. I
it's
gave him a whole
just
speech
you.
last night about how I wish we were penguins and that he could hold Daddy for
Yes.
a little bit.
Yes.
I was like, "Fuck,
Yes.
you don't realize what the I'm like, I'm not comparing you to other men. I'm comparing you to penguins who
Yeah.
fucking really take a load off their wife.
You
And
should be a penguin. And that is something I would cry about when I'm pregnant. 100%. That's something I would start a fight about multiple
no,
times. Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
But as I was saying about like being excited for him to come, I'm like, right now, he's all mine, like this baby. It's like
Yeah.
it's just us. And then you have to share him with the world. And I'm like, he's joining not just my family, my in-laws, like all these other people that I have to share him with. And I have to be
Yeah.
like, I'm the person that if you show up at my house unannounced, it's gonna shock my system and I'm gonna
Yeah.
reject you. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Oh,
not
100%.
I love
We
being on my
disabled our
island.
doorbell.
Yeah.
If you don't tell me, yeah, text me that you're coming. Also, don't call me ever. If you
Don't.
don't text me that you're coming over and I don't say yes, that door's not opening. And also, you don't have to share him with everybody. I get the idea of like, he's not going to be inside of you anymore. But like, there's a lot of, share him with whoever you want to share him with.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think that there's so much expectation of like, well, that's our baby now. That's my grandbaby. That's my nephew. That's, and it's like, well, he's my son first. And like, you'll see him when I say you can see him. And also like, if you want to help, I'll hold him. You can wash the dishes. You don't need to take the baby from me. That's pretty much the only thing I don't want you to take until you need someone to take it. And then you hand it off and you go sleep. But like, I think that there's the pressure of just like, this belongs to everybody now. This is the community baby. It's like, no.
Yes, but it's this weird thing that I'm like, let's get into therapy because like, that's where I'm at. But I'm talking about this with my therapist because I'm like, there are so many things that I said like before I got pregnant, like I would never do, I don't want to do, like you can't make me kicking and screaming. Like, and it's made me so much more like healthily boundaried. I'm kind of balancing this weird place that I'm in where I'm like, okay, I'm on one hand getting more boundaried and confrontational. Like you sniffle near me, I'm going to be like, are you fucking sick? Like, get away
100%.
like you just get a little more, not like confrontational and like I'll cut you way, but in like I'm someone's mom.
Nothing else matters.
Right.
Like, me becoming I'm a people pleaser to the max.
Yes,
when I got pregnant, but then especially when I gave birth, the Elise that existed before having a baby, dead. She doesn't exist anymore. And like, I will still apologize for saying no to things, but like if it's about my son, if it's about our family unit, like I'm not going to explain this to you. I'm not going to be a bitch. I'm not going to just be angry, but like it's such a clear cut boundary that is so much easier to lay out.
I feel the same way. Like my bullshit fuse is like in half.
Yes.
And I'm just like
yes.
way more like confident in my convictions and whatever. And then I'm also like getting softer. That's okay. I'm like, okay, I'm part of a community now. Like, but I'm like, no, like hold on to that. Like I'm in this like weird, like split where I can't fully like decide where I land. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm struggling with that. And like,
have you always been like a black and white person that you need to know? Or like now, like, cause I'm like, you don't have to really decide. That can be, you can have these like transitional boundaries of like, pick the value that you're guarding and then let the kind of the ins and outs of that change, but that value, keep that the same. And then you can change your mind.
Do you ever struggle? Like sometimes I'm like, okay, did I actually just like do the work and evolve and like get to a more like steady understanding place? Or have I completely abandoned the version of myself that had a black and white version of this? Like I'm like, oh, which one is it? Like, is this healthy that I now can see another side of this and can now like understand other perspectives? Or is it like, I've abandoned the version of me that held on to something so tightly?
This is a hard question to answer because part of me is so black and white. It's like painful because that's just my personality. I thrive in clarity. And the best thing you could do to like fuck me up and like my type of like torture in war kind of a thing would be like to just, I don't know, like you could or you couldn't, like gray area, you know what I mean? Like that is, my mental health will decline so fast if there's not clarity with my relationships that are closest to me. And so I'd need that. But then I also think that part of me growing, and I don't know if this was a rhetorical question or not, but I'm answering it as if it wasn't. Okay. Part of me learning how to grow is, like I said, like holding on to the value, looking at what, in that black and white, like, why do I need that clarity? Why do I need to know that when Jonas says he's going to be home in 10 minutes, that he's going to be home in 10 minutes or 11? Like, why do I need to know that? Well, because that means that I'm learning how to trust Jonas, and I never had trust in other people. So when he says, I'm going to be home in 10 minutes, and he is, that is like a little drop in the bucket of like, when you say what you mean, you will do what you say you will do, and like you are who you say you are. So that's the value. That doesn't mean that if he decided on the way home to stop and get me like a McDonald's French fry and a crispy Diet Coke because he loves me and he thought of me. Yes. He's not coming in and I'm not like yelling at him and like, where were you? And assuming the worst. And so like learning to see that flexibility, and then like the value is he left when he said he was going to leave and he's home pretty much the same time. And he loves you so much. He thought about you when he drove by a McDonald's. Yes. So like, that's a win. So for me, that's where the growth comes, is like, did you actually threaten the value that I'm holding and disregard my feelings? Or did you just not really consider that because you didn't understand and I didn't explain it well? And so I think that's like the biggest thing for me, is like learning how to communicate my boundaries. And then if someone decides to do that, it's like, fool me once, you're dead to me.
Right. No, exactly. So what I got from your book and like where that resonated with me so deeply and where I feel such a connection to you is like, to correct me if I'm wrong and you don't feel this way, I was like an island person. Like I was on my own island. I kind of like find my soothing in myself. I overthink. I'm just like I don't trust that easily at all. So
Yeah.
it's like when Dylan came into my life, he's the first person that I've ever felt like 100% safe and like invited onto my island. And like I'm very close with
Yes.
my siblings, I'm very close with my family, but still like there's that like you ask me how I am, I'm going to say like fine. Like I'm not really like a consensus seeker when I'm
100%.
making a decision. I don't want your advice on the rug that I'm going to get. Like I just am kind of like on my own. So with Dylan, like I have to remind myself like you love this person. He has a different upbringing. He has a different set of morals or understandings that you
Yeah.
might not, have. And it doesn't like you're right. Like I do feel like that first, like you threatened a boundary, you're going against something that I firmly believe, but you do have to like soften a bit and be like, okay, well, wait, I'm safe here. This is just like maybe I didn't like articulate my boundaries in a proper way or like my
Yeah.
reasoning in a right way. But it is like having a kid is this whole new set of like, oh no, we're really combining shit now. And like it does
Dude.
hit you in a weird way. Even all the dysfunction and every shitty part of my childhood that I wanted to change, I'm running towards because I'm like, that's safe. That's what I know.
It's when you okay, oh my God, I could like let's have 4 hours here with
Yeah.
this. Like the I will never forget ever. Like and Jonas and I the first year of our marriage, like was like 2 months into our marriage, there was like a big divide that happened where it's like we almost didn't make it like
Yeah.
weeks into getting married for no reason other than like we were just still so young and figuring out what was important to us, and something got like an opportunity got dropped in our laps, and like it was a yes and a no situation, and the yes won, and then it just divided us, and we like crawled out of this hole that we were in, and like unfortunately but fortunately, like that first year was so hard, and then it was like poof, like nothing but up, like baby,
Right.
like we're like if we can make it through that, we're stronger than ever. And then so by the time we had August, I will never forget, we're sleep deprived, it's like he's a few weeks old, we had this dog who we adopted during COVID who was like on his way out, like a senior dog, like 18 years old, like beautiful soul. He was like, when we adopted him, that was what made us realize we wanted to have a baby, because it was like, oh, I want more than this. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
And so, but he was losing his mind a bit. So he would howl all night. He sounded like a wolf, would just howl all night. So we were handling a baby and also this dog that was up more than the baby. So I remember he was howling and we didn't want him to wake August up. So we went down, had this like flashlight that we kept by our bedside table. He was like up on top of the stairs. Jonas was. I'm downstairs letting Bauer out, and I have my flashlight and I'm just like turn to him with it, and I'm like a lightsaber, and I just like start doing this, and he just starts laughing and I start laughing, and like we're so tired that was like the funniest thing that ever has happened in the history of everything.
Yeah.
And I just realized like we have fought so hard to just have fun with each other. Like a lot of times that's like everyone's like, I want to marry my best friend, and it's like, yes, that's so incredible.
Yeah.
But the amount of work that it took for me to, because I have never trusted anyone the way
Right.
I've trusted him, like that saying, like, you have no idea how hard I fought to be this soft, like
Yeah.
that like how much war I had to like trudge through to like
Yes.
just be gentle with myself and with others.
Yes.
Like it was like that. I was like, it's taken me so long to just get to a place where I am safe to have fun with this person and know that like they see me for who I am, and they, like I said, like he is who he says he is. He will do what he says he will do, and he always says, he's like, I'm always gonna love you. I'm never gonna leave you. Like he just says that all of the time, and I was like, all the time. He's like, all the time, and I was like, even right now. He's like, even right now,
Yeah.
and it's just like you having that connection, and then getting to do the baby thing with that person. It's like, if the baby's not sleeping, you're like, you're not the enemy. The lack of sleep is the enemy. Like my tiredness is the enemy. The pizza that
baby
came
is the
wrong.
enemy.
The baby's the enemy. He's the enemy. Like exactly. And so it's just cool when you're at that place and you get to experience that. It's just a whole nother level of like, it is
Totally.
you and me and fuck everyone else. That
Yeah.
we also text that to each other all the time, like fuck everyone else. Not because we're
Yeah.
mad at anyone, but it's like, it's me and you. It's this.
No,
And our
and like
family
thank
will
God.
happen around that.
Right. Like thank God my husband is like Jonas, like has that clarity and like is so much mentally healthier than I am. God bless. But like even when we were first together and we'd fight, like I talk about it all the time on the show, like I'd be like, okay, and what's my Raya song gonna be? Like, you know what I mean? Like I would like he'd be like, I need to like walk around the block and I'd be like packing his shit up. I'd be like,
Oh
okay.
my
Because I'm
God.
such a withdrawer. Like the second like
Same. I'm
shit
not
gets
going to fight with you. You're
no.
never going to hear from me again.
We could be friends for 30 years. Like you'll never, I will ghost you so fast. It will turn ice cold. You'll lose access to me forever. Like,
Forever.
yes. And so like with Dylan, it's like this constant exposure of like fighting and coming back together and him and like the concept of dropping it just for the sake of like sanity was so foreign to me. Like it happened the other day. We were
Really?
fighting about something. Yeah. Like, and I was like still mad, but being pregnant kind of just makes you like, you
Oh
can't,
my God.
you're just like, I fucking
It's
can't.
so bad.
It's so
Well,
bad.
it's
I'm like,
interesting though that you feel that way because I'm the opposite. Because I'm like ice cold in that way where
yeah,
I'm not going to fight with you. I literally
right.
am not going to fight. Like I drop it before it's even a thing. Like it's
Yeah.
dropped. I've dropped you and this in my mind and you're still in front of me. Like
No,
that to me
exactly.
is what I do. But Jonas came from a family of it's like, it's a problem right now. We're not leaving this table until we talk about it. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'll show you how little we are going to talk about this right now. You will be amazed at how little we are going to talk about this.
Well,
And then I would be out.
that's what I contribute a lot of my like in-law success to is I'm like, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm going to laugh at that weird, like, whatever
Yeah.
questionable comment that you made. I'm going to move on with my life because I have no reason, I don't want to start shit.
Yeah.
I don't want, and people don't
Yeah.
forget, especially your family. You are not, I don't care how close you are with your in-laws. You are not loved unconditionally. So it's like, like your husband is loved unconditionally, so he should handle all the confrontation
Yes.
with your in-laws. But it's like, now that I have a kid, it's like, oh, if I'm going to share them with someone, like I gotta confront, I gotta stay in the saddle. I gotta like
100%.
have those conversations of like, you can't do this with my kid or this is my boundary. Like, can I tell you my biggest boundary, which is so
Yes.
hilarious. And I lose sleep over it because so help me, if anyone makes me go back on this, I'll lose my mind. Zoos and SeaWorld like are not happening with my kid
Okay.
because I don't believe in animals in captivity and whatever.
Sure.
And so, you know why I'm choosing that's how random my hills that I'm willing to die on are. You know what I mean? But
Well,
I'm
why
like,
is anyone taking your kid to a place that you said you didn't want them to go to?
no, I just
That's not a
fucking know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I know that grandparents are going to be out one day and take them on a carriage ride in Central Park and I'm going to lose my mind. You know what I mean?
you might change your mind, but you shouldn't need to. Like allow yourself to kind of like for me, I can't go to them because they make me sad. I just
That's
can't, I
right.
cannot.
Right.
But like we have the Omaha Zoo. There's like they do rehabilitation with animals, and so there's like this
Right.
giraffe area. Her name's Hope the giraffe. Like had a broken
Bless.
neck, and then when Oliver was going through his heart thing, Hope was going through her neck thing and they were rehabbing her. So they sent Oliver a Hope giraffe, and he
I
would like
can
hold,
cry.
excuse me, he like would hold on to Hope while he was like healing. So that for
Oh,
me
I love
changed
that.
a little bit of that. Like I still can't go and see it because it literally makes me want to cry, but all of them are healing and like being rehabbed.
Yeah,
And
that's
so I'm like, this is
different.
great. Different.
100%.
But yeah, like for a while I'd be like, if you guys want to go, grandma and grandpa can take him.
Yeah.
I can't. And so you find like middle ground, but
Yeah.
like no matter what, if you have a boundary of like, please don't take my child there, and they do, like
Yeah.
you're dead. You're dead to me. Like
Right.
church.
But then you're also
You
like,
never bring my kids into a church. If I don't know what they believe. I don't know
right.
who they are. Like I don't want him going into a classroom with a bunch of people that I've never met and you walk away. Like if
Right.
anyone tried to like religion is just like, that's a big thing to me. And I want to be the person that gets to have those conversations with my kid. And so please do not like, I don't know, be praying with him, reading him, anything that like, because I don't know where that's going. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally. It just makes you kind of like you have moments of being feral and being like, wait, like, oh my God, they're not just mine. They're not just like, and the island thing, especially with a kid, you're like, oh, all of a sudden they're building a moat onto my island. And I see the construction happening in real time in a moat in a child's form. And like, I don't know if I'm ready for this, you know? But at the same time, of course, I'm like, how lucky that they're joining these two insane families, and like all of that's wonderful on a good day. And then
What is a moat? I
like
can't picture a moat.
or a bridge or something like a,
Oh, like the kid is the bridge?
yes, to like from my island.
Interesting.
It's
I
like
don't
all of a
see
sudden there's
that.
a ferry like taking people on and off my island.
I think for me it's like my island just got a little bigger, but it's still my island and I
Okay,
still
I
get to
like that.
decide who is coming and going. There's
Yeah.
none of that. If anything, the walls went up higher of my now a wall is built up,
Yeah.
more space, but like there's a gate now. Like
Oh, see, I
because
like
I have
that.
more to protect. I've got more, but I've got more to protect. And
I
so
like that.
I think to me it's like I'm really sensing that you feel like you are losing control of your independence in
Mm-hmm.
more ways than one with this baby. Is that true?
In like a funny way, because like on one hand I'm like, I think that I will find myself in motherhood. Like I truly have
Sure.
always felt like I'm gonna become like my most like who I'm supposed to be, like you know, my
Yeah, I love
strongest
that.
self. Like I do feel like that and know that. But I think the whole like who is this child gonna be, like who's contributing to that, where's my role in protecting them, and
Mm,
you know, like what influences do I want them to have, and also so much is out of my control, right? Like I think like
mm,
that's the thing, they're not just my baby, of course they are, he will be, but it's like he's the world's, he belongs to the world, you know, and I think that
yeah.
lack of control is like what I'm afraid of, like I'm like he,
Yeah, that makes sense.
you know.
I think that like I got lucky because I mean lucky, however you want to look at that. We had August during COVID, so I learned how to be a parent when I had pretty much complete control in a very chaotic time that was very scary because like we
Yeah.
didn't know at that time, it was so early. And I got to really establish so much. Like there was no question of whether the parents were going to come over or not. They weren't. Like it was COVID. Like I need you to be in quarantine for 2 straight weeks in a room by yourself if you even want to get through a window with this
Yeah.
dude. Like, and so, but I had all those boundaries myself anyways because I just have this need to protect because I don't have family and all that. So
Yeah.
I think that like you are going to experience, and I hope you do, that once this baby comes, you do have actually more control than you think. I think that it's scary to imagine them outside of you because all you know is this like protectiveness here. But like there's so many years right at the beginning where you get all the say. You literally you get all you should have all of the say, you and your partner. Like it's your job to have all the say because like you are to the people that are like have been entrusted with this sweet little person. And so that person relies on you to like have all the control as I mean as much as you humanly possibly can. I know that things just happen, but like you'll get to decide who gets access to him and when they don't anymore, where they go. You'll be there. You'll be able to say things in the moment. Like, and also I find that most people are very nervous about losing access to this like tiny little person that they love to, because it's also, you know, maybe their grandchild or their nephew or whoever. And so they will, if they're smart, be very cautious about like what they're doing and what boundaries they're crossing. And if you just continue to hold to those when it matters, like you'll figure that out. And you will be really surprised, I think, because I felt very similar the way that you did when I was pregnant. And I was really like happily surprised that I didn't feel like everything was out of my control. And I felt like I was like, I do get to protect you. And also I get to protect you in all the ways I wasn't. And also you know, when people are like, I understood my parents more like when I had kids. No, I actually have never understood you less because like I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. So like so that really changes your perspective on everything too, and like what gates you let open and what gates you do not. And you're just going to be great. Even the fact that you feel this way now, you're going to be such a good parent. Like you're already such a good mom. You're going to be great. Like this baby is so lucky to have you as his mom.
That's so nice. Thank you. No, I'm like, I'm so emotional. I could cry. But no, yeah, I think like, especially hearing that from like a recovering people pleaser, like it's like,
Yes,
okay, will I be able to enforce the boundaries that I'm sometimes not able to enforce for
you will.
myself, you know?
You will.
And I feel like
I
that's
still,
fine.
you will. That it just turns on. I mean, you could not, you would never catch me saying no to anybody. And then I had a baby and I'm like, if it's about him, no. Like literally, I do not care who you are. I don't care who you are. Like if I don't care, because this person, it's my job to make sure that this person is safe and is like in an environment where he knows what's going on and has clarity and knows he is loved and knows that like he's good. And so if anyone threatens that, or like my perception of that, no, goodbye, no.
So that's okay. So that makes, I love that so much. I'm like, I'm going to re-listen to this episode many times. No, this is so important for me to hear, but it makes me, I'm so curious because when I was reading your book and I like, even like the part where I can't remember if like where you were in Paris, like even like that whole part, like about that guy, which I won't spoil, but it's like, that's one of many examples of like loving too hard. And like, there's a poem you even wrote on your Instagram and read about like, how like I've loved too hard my entire life. Like I have picked out wedding china when I've had sex with someone the first time. You know what I mean? Like I have confessed my love that I literally am in traffic and I shudder at the thought that this person is like not only still existing but still in my life and has that memory of me. Like I'm like, oh my God, like that is so painful. And I think like having found these spouses and these partners, or just even like the relationship with yourself, to be like, no, that actually wasn't wrong. That like, because we're taught that that's wrong and like you should be aloof, you shouldn't care, like that's all cool and that's all the way to be. Like to break through that and be like, no, I'm going to still do that. I'm going to still like fuck up and talk about it and love too hard. And like, I do things hard. Like I do everything. I say things I shouldn't. I humiliate myself in ways that you can't even believe. Cause I truly like never notice when people like don't go on the internet and like they do a whole song and dance about like them taking a break and blah, blah, blah. When you took a break, I was like, where is she? I need her. But I feel like now that I'm talking to you, it resonates with me even more so because I'm like, oh, like we withdraw, like we need time to like recalibrate, reconnect to ourselves. I don't know that withdrawing is unhealthy. Yeah. Like, I don't know that that's unhealthy. Like for you, like,
not at all.
Yeah. Like was that the process?
I am somebody that like constantly, I've accepted this about myself, and I'm married to a person that understands this about me and champions this of like, I have to withdraw. I am constantly in a state of either I am like going away and like being quiet and then coming back and like I'm recalibrating, I'm coming back and I'm like output. I'm showing you my output. Like I need to withdraw, input, and then creatively, and then I can come back and output. And I will always be that way. Like I wrote this book because Jonas sent me to New York for a week, got me a hotel room, and he's like, go be alone and be by yourself and do it. Like, he's like, you can do this. I know you could do this anywhere. You could do it on a plane. You could do it in a fucking train, and whatever. You could like sit under a table and do this. Doesn't matter. But like, I want you to have space to where you can spend the first 3 days not writing because you're just sitting, because you don't get to do that in your day to day. And I will always be in that ebb and flow. And the thing about me is the thing that makes me very good at my job also could clobber me if I let it. Like I do things way too hard and too fast. Like I watch 5 seconds of a YouTube tutorial and I'm like, how hard could it be? And unfortunately, I end up doing it, but it's also very hard. And like, but I do it the hard way because I'm like, I want to figure it out myself. But I've learned that skill of like, I'm going to trust myself and know that like, I'm going to go at this very hard. And if I crash and burn, it's going to be a big crash and it's going to suck. But like, that's also what makes me, I'm fearless when I run at things because I'm like, how hard could it be? Because I'm delusional. I'm literally delusional. And so I think that I've just learned how to trust that instinct of like doing things too hard, doing things too fast. And then also learning to be patient with myself when it goes really badly, because it's like, great, that Thomas Edison, like you just learned, 100 ways to, and I literally wrote it in the book, but I can't even remember the quote.
Oh,
I know how to not make a light bulb, whatever. Yeah. And also what you said about looking back, we're taught to think like, well, we're shuddering, like we shouldn't do that. How the fuck would you have known? How, like, what are you, psychic? Like, how would you have known that wasn't the right thing? Like, we're trying to figure it out. Like, you're going to be operating on instincts that up until that point, a brain probably wasn't even fully developed. Like, I'm just to the point where I'm like, wow, I can feel that my brain is developed. Like having cognitive thoughts that like, that felt like a very developed brain
Look how
decision that I
evolved I
made.
am. No, I
Yeah. And
know,
like, that
me
was
too.
recent.
I don't know
So
if you feel like this. Like like in my 20s especially, like because my tendency is to go dark, right? I will
yeah.
burn as hot as the sun and then I need to like
Yeah.
shut all the lights off and turn off.
Mm-hmm.
Like when things go bad, when I start to feel shaky, whatever. And my fear was always I don't know if the lights will ever go on again, right? Like I'm
Mm.
like, "Oh my God, I don't trust myself enough to come out of this." And I think enough times of turning the lights off and then slowly turning them back on, like enough times of that happening made me finally trust that no, I can get in bed and retreat and hide from the world and not respond to text messages and be like a really less than desirable version of myself and turn the lights off for a second because I
Yeah.
know it will help me on the other side and I trust
Totally.
that that time will come. And I think it's
Totally.
like so brave actually to turn the lights off for a second.
I used to be very scared, have like a scarcity mentality on my creativity. And I
Mm.
was like, maybe this is the last good idea I'm ever going to have. And if you can just turn that part of your brain off, because that is a part of your brain that did keep you safe for a long time. Whatever that part is, it's like it's keeping you safe from like disappointment and failure and like, keeping your bloodline going. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like I don't need that part of my brain anymore. That's actually an unhelpful like tool. So I shut it off and I believe like I'm just gonna bet on me. I just need everybody that is closest in my inner circle that works with me and is on the team. Like, if you just bet on me, I swear to God that this thing is not going to go down. Because if the one little branch of it does, like, I will never be out of ideas.
Right.
And like, this starts with me. And so, like, if you can just trust yourself and trust your creative brain and trust that you actually need the rest, that it's important, that I'm a creative sprinter, so I'm going to sprint as fast as I can, and then I'm going to sit down, and you're not going to hear from me for a little bit. But you have to recover. You have to do the little metaphorical goo, the sugar goo, and whatever, and like and sleep, because then you can go and sprint again.
Yeah.
And the more times you can exercise that cycle, you are going to trust yourself more. You are going to go into that phase of like, how hard could it be? And like, I'm going to bet on me. And that has changed my life and my confidence in myself, as well as like my desire to do it myself and not rely on anybody else in a positive way. Not like I'm an island and I'm going to power through it even though I can't.
Yeah.
Knowing like, no, unless your expertise and your help is so much better than anything I could do, I'm just going to do it because I know this is the vision I have for this is right.
Yeah.
And I would like to link arms with people that can do things I can't do. And so that's so important.
I think that's a perfect ending part.
Okay.
But let's just promise to do this for 6 hours next time.
Yes.
You're the best. So nice to meet
Okay,
you.
I'll see you soon.
Not yet.
Okay, bye.